Ask me what just happened, folks. This is not actually a new part in the Jukebox series. This is just a notification that there's going to be a temporary delay. That's one tube that's no good. And over here is a pile more that's no good. In fact, some of them are all blown apart. Look at there. Look at that. There's one. There's another one. Man, is this too cool or not? This is what's left of those tubes right there. Just blew them right apart. Now, how in the heck did that happen? Well, you can call it Murphy. You can call it a little error. You can call it a total brain fart on my part. Just know that all my tubes blew out with the exception of one in the amplifier. This 6973 right here. So I'm going to have to, and you know what the worst part about it is? 4 of them are 12AX7s. Oh, man. The most expensive tube you can find. Don't ask me why. I don't know why they're charging so much for those things. Anyway, I'm going to have to order all new tubes and make sure that what I caused inside the amplifier is, still good. And when I put the tubes back in this thing, I'll be putting them in one at a time to make sure they light up and don't blow. I'm not going to just put them all in there and then hit the power. I'm just going to put one in at a time, but it's going to take me a while to get them. So what was happening was I'm powering the rectifier with a 120 volt plug over here, this one right here, and I was powering the filaments with 6.3 volts from AC, which I should have been using my DC power supply, that one right there. And this would have never happened, but there was no room on the bench. I'm going to have to figure out a way to make room. That's all there is to it. And when I was, I just dial in using my, Variac. I just dialed up 6.3 volts using my multimeter to make sure I didn't overdo it. It was working fine. We were troubleshooting through. I was doing good. Got almost to the end. Matter of fact, you can still see a wire hook there. Got almost to the end where we were getting ready to determine exactly what the problem was. And I took a break, came back, I shut everything down. I didn't want to leave it going while I was on break, because these breaks sometimes mine last 2-3 hours. The wife wants me to do this or that, so I can't afford to leave the stuff plugged in. So I unplugged everything, came back out after the break, and I grabbed the wire, the brown wire I thought was the 120. Are you beginning to get the drift already? And I was supposed to plug it in that plug right there, and then dial up my, my 6.3 volts, but I didn't. I plugged it in here, right there. You see where that black mark is, and it blew out every single filament and all the bulbs, the heaters and all the bulbs, and blew a couple of the 6973s apart. I'll tell you what, if you haven't done this yet, then you haven't been in electronics long enough. It will happen, okay? So this one is also bad. 12AX7. Anyway, give me some time to order tubes. In the meantime, we'll go to work on our pinball machine. So until next time, I haven't even told Brendan yet. He doesn't know what I did. I know he's up there shaking his head and probably got 50 stories to tell me of when it happened to him. Because I know if you've been in electronics long enough, I don't know why I put it in the wrong one. I thought I had a hold of this one, and I actually had a hold of this one, and they look pretty much the same. I should have either used a white cord or used a DC power supply, and then I wouldn't have had to worry about plugging it all in there except the power supply itself. Well, that's it. That's it, guys. Until next time, just hang with me till I get some more tubes. This is John. By the way, before anyone asks, the fuse blew right here, which protected this coil, so the coil's good. And on the other side, the circuit breaker tripped because I had plugged the 220 into that right there, into that power strip, and that power strip was plugged into that wall up there. So the circuit breaker tripped on my little circuit breaker box over there, so that helped. And I've also checked the choke out already right here, this choke, and everything seems to be good down here. Everything ohms out fine. So all we have to do is put the tubes in one at a time. But there's always a positive side to every day. Look at our little horseradish. Man, oh man alive, but look at the size of these leaves. You get little buds up here at the top. Man, oh man, oh man. She's going great guns. So, you know, the day wasn't a total loss. And one more thing, I found something inside the old T-Bird that saved me over $100. So there again, there's always a positive to everything. I'll show you that in the next T-Bird video.